while. Sorry about that. I kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. I don't even have a good excuse. I'm not in school anymore, so it's not like I was caught up in finals. I just got caught up with work and then my other work and then the rest of my life, and yeah, I just feel like I was so busy trying to get my life together in every other regard. And honestly, I wasn't really inspired to film anything or had anything interesting to film. So yeah, I was going to post this empties video way earlier, but I am filming it and I think it's January 16th right now. I'm just gonna go category by category in terms of products and what I used up. I'm gonna start with base products because it's a little boring. It is 3 of the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealers in the shade Fair Warm. I find that this is a pretty good shade. It's a little bit warmer and slightly deeper than my skin tone, but it is good for correcting darkness and redness because of that. And when I blend it out, you can't really tell a significant difference. It doesn't really distort the tone of my face too bad. So that's why I like it. I have found, though, I have 2 more of these. I'm working on one. I have one that was a backup. I don't know if it's because I changed my skincare routine or what, but it is looking a little weird texture-wise, and I'm not in love with it, so I might try to find something else. It is really hard to find one. I do like this medium coverage, and it's not super dry looking on my drier skin, and that is why I've used so much of it for so long. But I would like to find one that maybe looks a little bit more skin-like, even if it means it has less coverage. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I have a good amount of Ulta gift cards from Christmas. This one's a little interesting. It looks like a Milani Prep Set and Glow Powder. This was the compact that I put my Essence Contour Duo in. I took all of the light side and some of the dark side and mixed it together. I used up the light side completely, and then I decluttered the rest because the dark side was just way too dark, even though it was the fair pale duo. The last face product there is from this Pacifica Cherry Cheek Powder Palette. I used up these 3 in the previous year, but I did finally finish the kind of berry rosy blush shade. There was a little bit of it left. I frankened it with 2 eyeshadows, and I guess I'll just talk about eyeshadows next because I mentioned that. 2 of these were shimmery pale eyeshadows I used up with that blush to make it a lighter, shimmerier blush. 3 of these were 3 eyeshadows that I just mixed together to make another blush to replace that. I honestly don't remember what the other one was, but I have it in here, so I must have used another eyeshadow somewhere. It's possible that I used up 4 eyeshadows in that one blush concoction. This e.l.f. No Bud Shadow Stick in Perfect Pearl, I ended up using up, I think, on the face because I absolutely hated using it on the eyes. It did nothing. All it did was make the texture on my eyes look really weird, and it didn't add that much shine, so I was not impressed by it, so I just used it as kind of a face glowy stick, but it didn't even do that much. But since it was so similar to my skin tone, I thought if I hate it, I might as well just use it up quickly. So that's what I did. I only used up 1 brow product this year. It was the e.l.f. Wow Brow in Natural Brown. I used up many of these in the past. I don't think I'd repurchase it just because it is such a cool tone, natural brown, that it doesn't really bring my brows back to life, even though my eyebrows are a cool brown. After I put on makeup, it makes them look even grayer, and I want to kind of spruce them up, and my hair is so much warmer, and I just don't like the look of it. So yeah, this is a good product. I do like how it makes my eyebrows look fluffy and fuller. I also really like the size and the shape of the applicator. It is really nice to use, but it's just the color isn't right for me. I finished 4 mascaras last year, though I use the word finish a little bit generously because some of these I just stopped using and called it done after a few months. This CoverGirl Exhibitionist, wow, this feels like a different year than the other ones. I like the hourglass shape of the brush. It makes your lashes look fluffy. Why did I stop using this? I'm trying to remember. Why did I stop using this? I remember liking it. Was it flaky? Maybe I wanted my lashes to look more separated and subtle? Honestly, this was so long ago. I used to use this all the time, but I wanted to change and I bought these e.l.f. lash and rolls. This is the brown color, and I just wanted that natural subtle look, and I liked it until I was kind of done. These ones are a little flaky. They're more of a dark brown that is subtle, you know? It looked very natural in tone for me, but I was starting to crave that dramatic black after using up these two. And this one I didn't like because it smudged. I would prefer these, even though I liked the look of this one better. It was able to get more, you can tell it's actually still, like, there's a lot of product in there. So I didn't use it up, but whatever. This is my channel and my rules. So I liked the applicator and the effect of this one better. This one actually had a pretty light warm brown. It was literally lighter than my eyelashes and eyebrows, but it matched my hair. So that was kind of fun, but I wanted more contrast, and also I didn't like the fact that it smudged. The last category includes my cheating product because one of them I used up yesterday. But let's just go through my lip products that I used up because I feel like I was on a roll this year. I used up so many even though I did not film any of that process, it feels like. But the first one I used up, this Ulta Beauty Gloss Stick. The color was fine. It was a little bit cooler than I wish it was. It was like my lips, but slightly purplier. And usually I don't want to enhance the purpleness of my lips. So it wasn't very glossy for something called a gloss stick. It was pretty underwhelming in that regard. But it was a nice color and it felt fine, but it was just kind of underwhelming. So I wouldn't really consider purchasing it again, but I used it up because it wasn't bad. Pretty sure the next product I used up was this e.l.f. Holy Hydration Lip Balm in Lovely. And you can see the lid broke because I probably dropped it or something. I use these all up by putting them in my work apron. So I would just reapply them at work. So some of them look beat up because my apron isn't the safest place. There's literal knives in my apron sometimes because I cut boxes open often. So, you know, anything goes. I didn't like how the center heart, that balm, was way firmer than the lip product, so it wore down really strangely and unevenly. I also didn't like how, again, it wasn't that glossy, and the color was a little bit, it looks like it's a cool tone rose in the tube, but the color is more, it came across more like this, more orange. And that could just be the undertone on my skin making a lot of things look orange when they aren't. But it just looked a little bit off, a little bit too bright, a little bit too orange. So I didn't love the color and I didn't love the formula. It was just okay in terms of tinted lip balms. It wasn't spectacular. I would say it's probably comparable in terms of shine and pigment and impact. Though maybe this one had a little bit more pigment just because it didn't have a center balm that was clear to mix with it. The next two I used up are both the JCat Dew Glow Lip Hydrators. Pretty similar to the past two in terms of just, you know, a tinted lip balm, pretty standard. I prefer the color of this one just because I think light colors wash me out a little bit. But they were both fine in terms of color, and I used them up pretty quickly actually. The packaging got wobbly over time, but they were wobbling around in my apron, so I think I'm not as much of a tinted lip balm person as I thought I was, at least not the stick form, because I find that they don't have the shine finish that I often want them to. I think I prefer more gloss sticks than I do tinted lip balms because usually they're not that moisturizing for a balm, and they just kind of deposit a light layer of color and a little bit of moisture, and they don't last that long. So I've learned that while I like the idea of them, the actual practical use of them, I'm a little bit underwhelmed by. This next product looks blue because I had a pen in my apron that was blue. This one I would have repurchased if CoverGirl didn't freaking discontinue it. I didn't realize they would. I would have bought another one if I knew they were gonna do that. But it's whatever. It's fine. It's not like I finally found one that I really liked. Anyways, this is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Lip Stylo lipstick, and it was so pretty and shiny, and I loved this peachy pink color. It was a nice light tint, but it added a lot of shine. It had the appearance of a lip gloss more so I just liked that effect, and it was really comfortable, and it was just the perfect amount of pigment where it added a little something and a little shine, but it wasn't where I couldn't apply it without a mirror, which was nice. This next one, I like second to that. It's good, but I prefer this one. But this is the Flower Beauty Plump Up Gloss Stick in the shades, I think it's Spicy. This shade peeled off because, again, everything got butchered in my pockets. This one is a vibrant pink. You can see the plastic right here because it is a click up and it stopped clicking up. I think I preferred just being able to see how much I had with this one. Click ups, I'm like, I don't know, am I close to being done, or will it take another 2 years? I don't like the mystery, to be honest. And also I don't like how many times you have to click it up for it to actually really move up. But this one was good. It had a similar level of shine. It was a little bit thinner of a formula, so I felt like it didn't last as long as this one. Obviously they're not going to last forever because of the product they are, but I liked the longevity of this one more than this because it had also that menthol-y feel, just subtly, not as intense as some I've tried. I would consider repurchasing this, maybe in a different color, I don't know. It was good, but I preferred the CoverGirl Sweet Melon Lip Stylo, but not like it matters. CoverGirl, questionable perhaps, but I fit everything in screen. And I wasn't gonna lie, I felt like I didn't use up that much this year because I fit it all in this tiny little Neutrogena container that I've had since birth, it feels like, because I don't even know where this came from, but it stayed with me all this time. I guess it used to have wipes in it. Let's see. Guys, I've never noticed this before, and I thought it was exaggerated by saying it's been with me since birth, but it literally says expires in 2006. I was born in 2002, so I wasn't that far off. I don't know how this has managed to stay in my family long enough where I inherited it, and I now keep my Makeup Empties in it, but it all fit perfectly in here with the exception of this palette because, you know, the shape and size. So it felt like I didn't actually use that much up because it's not that large of a container. But I use a lot of tube things, clearly. I don't use like big foundations, and this is an outlier really. So it looks like I used up 23 makeup products last year. 22 if you don't want to count the thing that I used up yesterday, but I'm going to count it because I might as well throw it away now instead of waiting a whole year. I feel like that's pretty decent. That's pretty good. I doubt it's going to be this much next year because a lot of my products are newer, at least in the categories that I go through things quickly, like glossy lip products. I'm still proud of this because some of this I use naturally, like these concealers, the mascaras, you know, the brow product. But the lip products, I intentionally use them up, but I also did use them spontaneously, at least in terms of these two especially. I just use them on their own. So by the time I did pan them, there wasn't much left. But for a lot of these, it was intentional. It did take effort. So I am proud of that I got through all of this and I managed to shrink the size of my collection through this process, at least a little bit. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video and I hope that you have an amazing day. Bye!